Right, guys, it's me, Casper, Luke. We're
Hello.
back for the live cast.
Yeah.
Today, we've got a bit of a follow up and not a follow up. Half of it's a follow up, half of it's a brand new topic. We've got follow up on the optic video. We've got expert Mr. LK over there,
Yeah.
and we're bringing some brand new news that came out yesterday. Kotaku Games or Kotaku, however you want to pronounce it, has released a leak that Sledgehammer Games won't be taking the 2020 Call of Duty, and Treyarch Games is instead already in development of the new COD game, which presumably is called Black Ops 5.
I've watched the videos around this, but so obviously this year we're gonna get like the Modern Warfare era game. Well, that's what we're all hoping and assuming, and it's pretty much
Yeah,
leaked that it is going to be Modern Warfare 4,
yeah. All of the YouTubers
so
are
to
like,
speak.
"It's confirmed now."
Confirmed!
Oh,
Red exclamation mark and arrow.
yeah.
So that means next year we'll be getting a Black Ops 5 with a campaign possibly.
Have you heard
Cause
about what time it is? Like the
yeah,
time
Cold
era?
War, Cold War. I am very
That's gonna
excited.
be gas.
Firstly,
Cause
when they
yeah,
decided for Black Ops 4 to not have a campaign, I was so against it, but I realized after Black Ops 3 campaign, it was so shit. I'm like, if we keep ruining the campaign like that, but
do you
now,
know?
yeah, what's up?
Do you know? I was just a little interjection. I was talking to Jan,
Yeah,
who's earlier, and I was just like to him like I don't know how I feel about them calling it Black Ops 5 because ever since even I'd say that Black Ops 2 its campaign was still linked because it had the old characters.
yeah.
But pretty much since Black Ops 1, bit of Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 have nothing to do with Black Ops.
No, they just
Like
called it that to play the
at least
game.
Modern Warfare 1, 2 and 3 are all linked with each other. What I like, although the game is questionable, I kind of liked it. A lot of people
What game?
didn't.
What game? What game?
Ghost.
Yeah, I agree.
Everyone's on the fence with that game. I thought it was pretty good. A lot of people don't like it, but what I liked about Infinity Ward calling it something else is that yeah, it still has a very prevalent character. But if you're not gonna physically continue the storyline, then
Please
what's the
call it
point of
something
calling it
else.
the same thing? Like I don't understand why. It's like I don't know. I can't think of like another direct another direct comparison to why you shouldn't name it, but it's just like
I
it's
don't know
like
what you would
it's like
call it.
it's like calling so there's the Hobbit books and then there's the Lord of the Rings books, right?
Yeah,
And then so you have the Lord of the Rings books, which is Lord of the Rings 1, 2, and 3, and then you have the Hobbit books, which is like the precursor to them. It's
yeah.
like the story of how the ring got. I know you haven't watched or read it,
I
but
need to watch it.
yeah, you definitely do. But it's like calling. So it was like Lord of the Rings and then Hobbit, and then but the movies and the books are still different things, although they're the same storyline. But
Oh,
it's like in turn, Tolkien calling Hobbit 1 Lord of the Rings 4,
you've lost me,
although it's not
but
the same
I'm sure
storyline.
this makes sense.
It's in Call of Duty, say MW 1, 2, and 3. If they called Ghost MW4,
Yeah.
like that wouldn't have made sense
Okay.
because it kind of doesn't follow the same storyline, but it kind of does because it has a similar character. It shares Ghost, but it's not the same storyline, so there's no reason for them to call it Modern Warfare 4.
Oh, okay.
But that's just my little rant on why I don't think this series of games should be
Firstly,
called Black Ops.
Marley 13, he made a really good joke. They're running out of fucking space for that orange fucking number. Okay, after 3, it was cool. 4, it was like, boom, just splits into 4. Now it's got to split into 5 and they, it's just,
Have you seen that joke is like 2077 or something like that? It's like Black Ops 54 and it's just a fucking barcode.
oh my god.
It
Bro,
just looks
Black
like a
Ops,
fucking barcode.
there's you, after Black Ops 3, I had enough of Black Ops series, I can't lie. Like,
Black Ops
obviously,
3 still shouldn't have been a Black Ops game in my opinion.
nah, I,
It didn't.
they
It
should have called it, they've, can we say this, yeah, they've destroyed the Black Ops brand. Now with Black Ops 4 and 3. 3 was
mm,
3. I think 3 was a good game, but 4 is just shit.
4 was a good game until they did a bunch of patching and shit, and now it's unplayable. I hate it. But I really enjoyed it at the beginning. But it's just like Black Ops 4. all Black Ops games are sort of decent
Yeah, and they're all yeah.
because
After
Black Ops
Black Ops
One and
1
Black
had
Ops
me
Two.
hooked on COD for a very
But
long time.
that's like imagine Treyarch went World at War and then went World at War Two and then World at War Three, World at War Four. I mean
See,
that's what they're doing with
Treyarch
Black
was
Ops.
so smart. They went from World War Two, then they went to Cold War. They went chronologically. Then after that, Black Ops 2 is obviously like a modern warfare era game. But it just after that, it was like, oh shit, what do we do now? That's
At this point, it really should be that Black Ops 5 should be Black Ops 2, and then they should push everything else forward like one number. It's like the whole Xbox One thing, although it's the third generation Xbox console.
that
I
Xbox 720.
Xbox 720. Um, what I was gonna say is that I I I liked that because you were saying like, oh yeah, they went from uh the World War to the Cold War, and then the Modern Warfare games and stuff. But I think people started to get, I think a little, I want to say tired, but I think the whole genre of modern shooters was getting a little bit like over saturated.
Yeah.
Just like even though the Cold War is technically not a modern shooter, it technically still is a modern shooter. Like we're not going back like to the 1890s with like muskets and shit. Like it's still like close history, but it's like so they were like, all right, let's try out this new thing where we just make up guns that shoot lasers and shit and like make really cool kill streaks.
Oh, I hate that.
I don't. I didn't until it was overdone. So
Nah, at first I loved
it's
it.
just it's just
It was
it's just a
immersive.
cycle. It's just a cycle. See, we go from COD even one to Modern Warfare 3. I can't be asked to count how many games that is, but it's a lot of games, probably around 10. And then you get Black Ops 2 all of a sudden, which is a futuristic game, the first of its kind. It's not even that futuristic, but it was futuristic at the time. But it was like a close future. It was only like what 13 years in the future.
Yeah, 2025 to
That's not that
2013.
much. So you have that, and then you go to and then what was after Black Ops 2?
Modern Warfare 3.
Oh shit, was Modern. Oh, I thought Modern Warfare 3 was before Black Ops. No, are you sure, Chief?
Oh wait, no, it was Ghost. It was
Black Ops,
Ghost.
it was Ghost. So that's still a modern shooter. And then we go to Advanced Warfare, which is like an even more futuristic shooter than Black Ops 2. And then from Advanced Warfare, we went to Black Ops 3, which is another futuristic shooter. Black Ops 3, we went to Infinite Warfare? No,
Yeah,
yeah, Infinite Warfare, another shooter. And at that point, I think everyone just got a bit iffy of the futuristic thing.
I think yeah,
But
it's just because Black Ops 3 and Modern Warfare, no, Infinite Warfare. Infinite Warfare was like a carbon copy.
yeah, but why didn't because Advanced Warfare actually a lot of people couldn't get used to it, but then a lot of people loved it. Like
Yeah,
I really liked the game. It was something new. The exosuits, in my opinion, were actually pretty decent. Like
Advanced
I liked
Warfare
them.
had the
I liked
best
them
movement.
more. I liked them more than the Black Ops 3 one. That's for sure.
What one?
The Advanced Warfare one.
Same.
I liked
I
it a
had the
lot more than
most.
Black Ops 3.
I had most
Because
fun in that game.
once you commit to the jump. Like you have to choose
There was no floating
wisely.
down.
Yeah, you had to choose wisely. You like the whole dash sideways thing gave
I
so
love
much
that. I love that so much.
that gave so much horizontal like change to the game. Like it gave the meaning of strafing. Like strafing as a whole just was different in that game. It
What
was
was
a
that
whole
Halo
different
that they introduced the sprint, like the boost and stuff like that? I wouldn't know. I haven't
uh
played Halo like that.
probably I
Wasn't
haven't
Halo
played 2. It might
Reach
have
or
been
4?
3. It might have been
Nah,
3.
it can't. It's not free. I played 3.
I don't even know what you mean, but
Basically, the
the
dash,
jump.
like with your left stick, you could dash in the air. You know that one?
Oh
You know, like you
yeah.
could side swipe.
I mean, I played Halos, but I didn't really ever get into them. I was more of a COD guy all the time.
Same. All
Although
my
I did
friends
have an
were
Xbox.
Xbox noobs.
Yeah, same. Um, but yeah, so The only reason Black Ops 4 is still futuristic is because of the fucked up 3 game cycle.
Yeah.
And when after Black Ops 3 was done, Black Ops 3 was still really good. I personally didn't like it that much, but a lot of people did.
I had some good times in that
And
game.
and it was doing really well. So they start developing a whole 3 year cycle again of a futuristic game, thinking it's gonna be good. And then Infinite Warfare came out, and it became the most disliked video on YouTube,
Oh god.
and all of this backlash and shit.
There's so
But
much.
it was too late for them to abort the game then. But Sledgehammer already knew that the whole um the whole futuristic thing is getting overplayed since.
Yeah.
So then they went back to World War Two and they fucked that game up really badly. Could have been something amazing, but they fucked it. So now we're back to this. So now it's just lifespans of Call of Duties. We went through the modern esque shooters, modern slash wars like 50s, 60s,
Mm.
and then we went through the futuristic phase, and now it just seems like we're
We're
going back to
lost.
modern again.
We're
No, we're back
lost.
to modern again.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 4 modern game.
But what if it's
Black
not?
Ops 5.
What if it's not Border Warfare? What if it's Ghost 2?
Don't.
Because that game
I didn't like
ended
the
on a cliffhanger.
storyline, bro. I did not like the storyline whatsoever in
Ouch.
that game. You throw that guy out from the fucking
How
the
did Rock
great
not die? I
thingy.
don't know, bro.
Mate, that
I
campaign
swear he
is so
like shot the Don and whatever. He fell
that
out a
campaign is so
fucking.
unmemorable that I don't even remember the characters' names. I don't remember really what happened. The only missions I remember is the one when you're in a space thingy, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, Call of Duty in space, fuck off." And then you're in that thing and you crash down. That's the only mission I remember. And then the one where you sneak about on the oil rig. That's the other mission I only remember. Like that's the only 2 missions I kind of remember from
That's
that
Modern
game.
Warfare 2, I swear, the oil rig.
Nah, nah, nah. In Ghost, you like
The only easy day was yesterday. Sorry,
I
that's
don't
finished.
know. In Ghost, you like crawl around like some fucking thing with your squad and like, it's like, stay quiet. And then you shoot that guy with a fucking like weird revolvery pistol and he doesn't die, and then he comes and fucking shanks you on the beach. Like, okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
Ghost 2 incoming.
Plus, we did talk about this in the Game of Thrones podcast, which I think because this is recent news, we'll probably have to upload it relatively soon. But we will be doing individual COD down like details because right now we're kind of on the COD run, and you see how easy it is to go on about COD. Like there's so much to do. I
Hmm.
could talk about it all day, honestly.
Yeah.
As much as I haven't played a COD since Black Ops 3, and it's 2019. But like I played all the CODs in between that, so IW, World War 2, and what's this one,
I
Black Ops
can
4. But
I can wholeheartedly say that I've not played one even second of Infinite Warfare.
I actually liked it.
I have not touched that game, and I
I
have
loved
no.
that movement. It's because it's Black Ops 3 remastered. I love that movement. It was just like
You
I
say
play.
remastered, but it looks worse than it. So
Nah, exactly. It didn't look very good. It was very dull, but like bright in aspects. Like it was.
to be fair, all Infinite Warfare Infinity War, in I'm getting mixed up now. Infinity Ward games
Mm,
are quite dull.
yeah,
If you
but
think about all
but
of the
back
Modern Warfare
back when
games,
Modern Warfare 2 came out though,
I mean,
it
yeah,
did it
Modern Warfare
well.
2.
It did it really well. But Modern Warfare
But
3, I don't know.
some of the
It was very
campaign
washed.
missions, ugh, some of the campaign missions in those games are just so dark and dull.
Nah, there's
But
no.
it has its feel to
There
it.
was
It
not
has its
one
feel to it.
bad mission in Modern Warfare 2.
I'm
Not
not saying
one.
the missions themselves are bad. I'm just saying like the color scheme of the game.
I
Treyarch
liked
was
it.
always the one to be more colorful and
Yeah,
vibrant,
I don't like
whereas
that shit.
I don't know. I like it a little bit more. I
It
don't like
suited
just looking at
it
like
suited Black
dark
Ops
shit.
2 because that was the shift in esports and like COD 100% top of that was like the pinnacle of esports like Call of Duty.
See, don't get me wrong. I love original Nuketown. Nothing trumps it. But then
Nah,
2022 is
2020,
really nice color.
2025 is the best one I think.
2025, yeah.
The
Like
original one was
that
so
was just.
eh.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. Maybe it's just a nostalgia. Just playing. Do you remember Combat? What was it called in Black Ops One?
Combat
Combat
training.
Training. That's it. Bro, I used to be so bad. that I used to just play combat training and
And he was
level
just
up because
running
you
Modern
can
Warfare.
level up that.
Yeah.
Bruv, I would just play Nuketown with a commando all day, just running around, just killing fucking bots, bro. It was just the memories, I guess, for me with the first Nuketown. But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the 2025 one is just vibrant and nice, and just
See, this is what we're gonna have
sometimes
to do.
it's just nice. It's just nice to look at.
We're gonna have a COD series or podcast because I don't think we couldn't.
Yeah, I love that
Literally.
we picked this in our first episode of the podcast. We picked this up as like we're gonna talk about everything.
Hmm.
We're gonna talk about life, like politics and shit. So far, all it's been is Game of Thrones and Call of Duty.
Yeah. I mean, as
But
time
once we
goes
have
on,
more
we'll get.
time, yeah,
Yeah, we can talk about. But to be honest,
because these are just easy topics that we can talk
it's
about in
like
like half an
when it comes to Maniac and Hitch, the fly cast. What the flip does that have to do with fly? I guess it's like being fly and stuff, but they just talk. It's nothing like
hour. Yeah, it's not like structured. They just
nah.
talk like about anything and everything.
But anyway,
I hope we get to a point where we're so entertaining that people just listen to us talk about
I
random shit.
mean that's how most podcasts are.
Not the ones I listen to be fair.
Fair enough. But anyway, next year's Call of Duty is gonna be a tryout game,
Well,
unconfirmed
yeah,
but confirmed. Modern Warfare. I mean Black Ops 4.
yeah. They said
5.
Black Five. They said Black Ops 5, but we don't know if that's the confirmed name or anything. But it's what we can assume right now.
Exactly. And then this is following up the Optic news. There's been like developments in the whole situation when so what I've learned, and we both watched the Flycast as well, so the last 20 minutes kind of did explain it, but not really. But there's also another video on the UMG channel, and this guy was just explaining it, like what can happen or what could happen, and the different scenarios and the way it leads on. So Immortals is the company that wants to buy out Infinite, and
Mm.
they they just want the LCS spot because League of Legends is a very high grossing game, and that's the one thing Immortals doesn't have.
I
But
wouldn't say just that. I'd say even more than League, they probably want Overwatch
mm,
because buying to Overwatch is like 25 million.
but they've already got an Overwatch team. It's
Do
like
you think?
yeah, they do. I don't know what it's called.
Oh shit,
They're
I thought
based
they
in
did.
LA. That's why they don't want it. So basically they can't have a COD team because I don't know if they want a COD team or not. But anyway,
They'll
Scumpy and them
probably
lot are gonna threaten to retire if worse goes to worse. But I don't think they would retire. But that's like one of the things anyway. But that's we'll just skip to the one I want to happen is that Hex can buy out Infinite with outside investors and anyone involved, and it will cost 150 million or so. That's the deal.
bloody hell.
I don't know where this money comes from because that's what Hitch was
Is
saying
that
as
how
well.
much? Is that how much Infinite paid for them, or is that just
That's the
like,
valuation of Infinite, and Optic is a sub brand of Infinite. So that's the
oh,
valuation of Optic as well as Infinite. But obviously, I don't think Optic is anywhere near that much. I don't think it's probably. I don't even know how much Optic would be valued at. I couldn't even guess. I really
a
couldn't know.
lot of fucking money?
I don't know. A
I
lot,
don't know how
definitely.
much an LCS spot costs.
Isn't it 25
Wait,
mil?
Optic are an LCS? I never realized.
Yeah.
I never really. I watched a bit of LCS back in the day because when 100 Thieves first got their team, but
Because they were
I
playing.
realized
Because 100 Thieves played Optic and stuff.
maybe I don't remember
Because
that.
there's vlogs about
But
it.
yeah,
Anyway.
but yeah. Oh shit, yeah, true. That was an Optic 100 Thieves match. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so they won an LCS spot. Obviously, that game's the biggest game in the world. Um, I don't know how or where 150 million came from. Apparently, there is just talks of like the investors coming in, but apparently Hex is just gonna buy out the COD team and start a new organization.
I hope not, man. They're all getting. They've got OG tattoos as well.
Yeah, they're all getting OG tattoos. That's pretty sick.
I just don't want Optic Gaming to die because I was talking about this earlier. Not to you, but just like with someone else. And I'm just like, I've seen this shit grow from great, like a very long time ago, 60, 50
Uh,
days. Before that, even Modern Warfare 2. And now it's just like, okay, now I'm talking about Optic Predator times, like when times were better.
yeah,
Man, everything's changed since then so much. I'm just thinking about reminiscing. We're gonna have to do a massive COD series of podcasts, like literally, we're gonna do it. But
everything to do with COD.
we could just do like reviews of each game and like what we thought. But anyway, we'll do that another time. But like, just to see it disappear, Optic no longer exists. I don't think I could deal with that.
But there's a big point. It's like, oh yeah, the Optic team, or at least the COD team, is gonna cease to exist anyway because of franchising.
Don't like franchising, man.
But it's still, because
It
I was
won't be
talking to Dan
Optic.
about it, because it's not Optic or Immortals anymore. It'll be like Texas
Yeah.
Shooters or some shit like that.
Mm.
But it's still owned by that organization, so it's technically, it's like the Texas Outlaws or whatever they're called. They're like a franchise team, but they're still owned by Optic Gaming.
Mm.
Like they're still contracted and like shit by Optic Gaming. It's just that they're called Texas fucking
I already don't like
Outlaws
the
or whatever.
sound of it, man. Just don't like the sound of it.
I don't see the point to franchising.
I know why
Uh,
they do, but why they do it? Please. Don't.
you'd have to enlighten me to why they do it,
Okay,
because it doesn't make any sense to me why they
so
would. But
this is just before we end up running this video off to finish.
hmm
But the reason to franchise is to just expand COD as an esport and make it more dominant and stuff in like Twitch and just get the viewership and get the money. Then you get new sponsorships, everyone grows, businesses grows, they can acquire new content creators, all that stuff, yeah. Just
I
that's the
have
original reason Hex sold majority is not just to get the G Wagon, all that memes and get a house. It's not that. It was so Optic as a he did the best thing for the business, which was to grow and is to okay, we have outside investors, connections, but Infinite the business itself, like this is what people were saying, and this is what the guy on UMG said the video. If you want to see it, I'll probably link it down. But
hmm
he was just basically saying how Infinite were the completely wrong business to do business with. But they just put the biggest bid in because they had Optic and they have nothing to do with the whole esports scene. And he took you've watched the Flycast, yeah? They were talking about that one manager of Hitch
mm,
who he quit because he had no idea what he was doing because it didn't work with the esports scene. And one of the owners of Infinite has like some sort of grudge against Hex and stuff because obviously Hex Optic is his baby and they're trying to take control of it and shit. So it's like it's just got the conflict right there. But yeah.
I've got one thing to counter your point.
Mhm.
Got one objection to like your, I don't know, like just your basic principle of why they would. And you're saying that they would franchise to expand viewership and stuff, right?
Mhm.
But in my opinion, when you have a brand like Optic, or you have a brand like 100 Thieves, or you have a brand like Liquid, or you have a brand like Cloud9,
I'm
any
agree with
any
what you're about to say. I can already tell.
any brand, you can support that brand worldwide. You, like anyone around, like I'm an Optic fan from England, you're an Optic fan from England, there
Mhm.
could be an Optic fan from India, there could be an Optic fan from Chile, could be an Optic fan from Brasilia, but
Yeah.
are you really gonna expect all of this? Like, I don't. I'm going to support Optic if Optic still exists after
Regardless.
franchisement because it's Optic,
Mhm.
but I don't see new people, like a new person's gonna watch this game. So say I don't know anything about Overwatch, right?
Mhm.
And I never was affiliated with
Just say Houston
Optic.
Outlaws. Oh.
If I'm watching it and it's franchised, right? I'm not gonna choose Houston Outlaws or something like that. I'm
Because you
probably
don't know.
gonna
Just
choose
gonna
the
watch anyone.
I'm I'm gonna choose the London Spitfires or
Yeah.
whatever they're called because it's from London. That's how franchising works. I support Chelsea because they're from my hometown. You support Arsenal because they're from your hometown. Neither of us support Manchester United,
It's not from up
Manchester
there.
City, Liverpool, because that's not our team.
Mm.
That's not our local team.
No,
Franchisement
honestly,
is about embracing the local like factor of it. It's like bringing people together. Because in Houston, there's probably because they were talking about this in one of the podcasts. In Houston, there's like fucking bar meets and stuff now of just random people drinking beer together and and watching Overwatch together because it's Houston Outlaws, right? They wouldn't know who to support if it was Optic Liquid C9. They
that's
support it
true.
because it's called Houston Outlaws. So that, in my opinion, isn't expanding the reach. It's closing a niche onto every single team. Because why do I have business supporting a team called Houston or fucking Los
Bro,
Angeles
I can't even
when
against that Overwatch bullshit. I don't understand. Why would I give a shit?
Overwatch is? And then like the whole argument of Overwatch expanding like franchise expanding viewers. Fucking Overwatch, 25 million a fucking an
A pop?
entry.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Apparently the biggest, it's meant to be the biggest esports. Bruv, the league gets like 20k views at max. Bruv,
Sometimes it
bloody
gets bare.
Castro who plays FIFA, which is a dead game, gets more views than Overwatch League.
That guy's putting like 30k views on FIFA. I don't.
That's what I'm saying, bro. FIFA's a dead game at this point, and he's got 30,000 people watching him. Doesn't make sense. Well, it makes sense, but it's probably because they're watching it for him, not for. But yeah, what I'm saying doesn't make sense is that Overwatch League is this whole. That's why I think that franchisement's not gonna work because you're limiting your fan base. I mean, unless you're not
Bro, this is
discriminate, and then
exactly what I'm saying.
ah,
Look, if
I support Optic because it's Optic, not because it's Dallas or whatever.
before we just finish this off, this is in the comments of one of the videos.
Hmm.
You get rid of Optic, you get rid of 90%, 100% of the viewership. Everyone's an Optic fan pretty much. It seems like all these other orgs, I don't know how they exist with like zero to no fan base. Like literally Optic, you go to these tournaments and stuff, you watch it, it's just Optic. Like I don't get
Yeah,
it. But this is out of our control, so we're just an outside
yeah.
perspective. But
There's no point of getting vexed over something you can't change.
nah, it's just sad to see. But
It's like I'm gonna touch on this a little bit just at the end of this episode. It's nothing to do with Call of Duty, but it has to do with the point that people take things too much to heart that they can't change. And this is gonna get political. The fucking abortion bill in America.
hmm
I see why people are getting vexed over it. I'm vexed over it, but
same.
it's like what are you going to change by writing 15 million fucking tweets on Twitter that two people see? What are you going to achieve with that? Like, go do something that's
Go do some
like, if you're
tangible
gonna
stuff. Actually go out and do something.
if you want to fight for the rights, don't get me wrong, go do it, but go to America and go fucking riot and shit and like do fucking like marches and shit so you raise awareness that way. Like I follow this girl on Twitter, and she literally did about without exaggeration, probably about 50 tweets in a day about the same thing, this abortion bill,
Oh my
and I'm
god.
just like, have a day off. Like you live in England, if you want to abort it, go abort it because it's still your right. So why are you getting vexed about something going on overseas? I understand it's a matter that is bad, and I don't agree with it. I think that
100%
this
pro-choice.
ban shouldn't exist. But I mean, it's not my place to worry. I've got other things to worry about.
We got
So
life.
when I see half of my timeline blocked up with people from England worrying about this, I'm just like, what's the point?
I don't get
But
it.
yeah, that's just my little
No, I'm
rant
not
over.
even gonna touch upon that because I agree with it, and I feel like when it comes to the end, when this whole shit gets resolved, if it does, we'll be able to express our views on that much more clearly. Because some of that shit is just ridiculous. But what can we do?
But yeah,
But
without
yeah,
getting too
hopefully,
political. let's just end off this Call of Duty episode,
Hmm.
not
Hopefully,
bullshit fell episode.
next weekend we can have a guest or two on. See if anyone wants to hop on because we are on half term
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's our
we'll
first week of
present
exams,
someone.
so we can get people to pop on just for episodes or so. If like anyone wants to just like I don't know, talk about their field or whatever they're interested in, because
Yeah, if
we
anyone
are
just wants to hop
interested.
on and just have a conversation with us, just hit
Yeah,
us
man.
up. Like,
Because literally, we
this is
just
all it is. Let's just have a conversation.
literally, yeah, all we need to do is put one topic as the beginning of our conversation, and it will go anywhere. Literally, we could just talk for about anything, because this is how conversations work with people. You start on one topic, and then that topic has like another viewpoint, and then you just bounce that back and forth.
Facts. But
And
what I want to address, sorry for interrupting you.
that's so good.
I just want to put in one disclaimer. These little half an hour, 40-minute, 20-minute episodes, they're on a specific thing. We're doing this because we don't have any time to go on for an hour and a half about 15 different topics.
Mm.
We just choose one topic that we want to talk about. That's why we keep veering off on random tangents because that's just us. But
Yeah, we
after
literally
we're
talk about.
done,
That's how we talk normally. We literally just go
yeah,
off.
after we're done with this set of like 20-30 minute episodes on one specific thing, we're going to go back to that first episode style of podcast where we just talk
Yeah,
about 5 or 6 or 7 different things.
this is
It's
just
not going
more
to be on
informative.
one. Yeah, this is just informative. This is us just wanting to talk about topics, like singular topics that we feel strongly about. But when we're done with exams, we're just going to sit down for an hour and a half, and we're just going to talk about everything and anything that we can
Yeah,
think
because
of.
over summer I'm gonna be working like as much as possible. I literally working real work like because I work a part-time job, but I want to do as much time as possible. Work on that, but work on this because this I know people at school are talking about us and stuff like not in a negative way, but they're like even people that I wouldn't expect to have found out that we make this kind of shit have been
Yeah,
talking,
just random
and it
people.
all
Just you hear them talk about like, oh, podcast. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I'm just like, well, just please subscribe and just do that kind of thing because it's gonna help us and it's gonna help you in terms of the content you receive because we're gonna just make more content because
yeah,
I mean content is king. That's one thing I took from Hex. If as long as you're making content and you're doing something like that, it really does help. But
yeah.
yeah,
We're currently
that's
sitting
that.
on around. We're sitting on almost 200 views on 4 videos.
Yeah, I
We're
saw the views. That's great.
around
40,
averaging
50.
around 50,
Yeah.
40,
The first two
187
have over
views.
60.
Yeah, I feel like that's just the recency effect. That's
Mm.
just like the first things that come out. So everyone like you jump on it, but then it's hard to
Hmm.
retain a
We'll be fine. We started now. No need to quit. Most people get famous and successful with this other shit when they're much older, so we just gotta keep going.
hell yeah. As you keep mentioning, Gary V
Yeah,
talking about that shit where you just keep creating and you shall succeed.
I think that's one of the keys to life. As long as you're being creative and wow, literally we could talk about everything. This is why it's called the Lifecast, everyone. That was me, Luke, and Casper.
Yeah.
This is the perfect way to end it because we want to give you guys way more. Like we talk about this shit 24/7.
We're gonna have hundreds of episodes coming out, so
Yeah,
just don't worry about
a
it.
goal
Just
a goal of mine would honestly be 100 by the end of the year. Like it's
well,
definitely doable.
that's doable.
We're gonna be on
Honestly,
5 now.
we're probably
This is episode 5,
we're
I
gonna
think.
no, this is episode
6.
6
Oh, well, there you go. One ahead of
because
what I was on.
you're listening to this in the future, but I don't know when this is gonna be uploaded. Probably Wednesday or Thursday. But on Sunday, which is the day we're recording right now,
Yeah,
we're releasing a Game of Thrones episode, so you would
yeah.
have already seen it. But this is what you call product. This gets me gassed because I always see like YouTubers like when they backlog videos like, oh yeah, you've seen this video a couple of days. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, you
you
pre-recorded,
fucking prick.
and now we're pre-recording. So like, welcome in the future, but see
Welcome
you
to
in.
Wednesday, the 22nd.
Holy shit, we're on Wednesday the 22nd already, and it's only the 19th. Damn, we
Fucking
are
hell.
time travelers. Anyway, without rambling further on, it was me, Casper, and it was Luke over the other side of the internet.
Like
Uh,
every
Our links and everything are in the description. They're on your screen. Go follow. Go check it out. Spread the word. Spread the gospel. I
If
feel like
anyone
I said
knows,
that at the end
if
of a couple
anyone
of
knows how
episodes.
to make thumbnails, just pop up to me. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's only,
Okay.
do we have any
Well.
outro music?
Yeah. Do we have any outro music?
I'm putting
See you
outro
later, guys.
music now. See you later, guys.